The three most important aspects of your life. Number one is going to be finance. If you live in a capitalist society, money is by far the most important thing. I know money isn't everything because there are rich people that are miserable, but every broke person is miserable. You need some sort of financial income that can allow you to have a sustainable lifestyle. And depending on what type of lifestyle you want to live, it's going to require you to make more money. If you are currently in college or plan on attending a university, make sure the degree that you're going after is an in-demand degree. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that are either in college or are planning to attend a university, and the degree that they want isn't even in demand. Your ROI on your degree should be a high-paying job. Why on earth would you spend $20K a year for 4 years just to get a job that pays less than $80,000 a year? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Your degree, preferably it should be something in STEM. Something in STEM will allow you to make such a high return on your investment that going to college actually makes sense. But if you go for like a communications major or like one of those majors that you know for a fact is not going to pay you that much, you're better off just going to trade school or not going to college altogether. And if you choose not to go to college, what you should do is just get a job that doesn't require any sort of skill sets, but like it has to be a job that it should be a job. It needs to be a job that people will tip you for your performance, or it's like performance based. So it should be something like being a server, something in sales, car salesman, because those jobs, even though you are getting paid off commission, if you have no other option and you were really hungry for it, I feel like it'll put you in the best position to make an income. But a lot of people, they'll just work like a menial job that pays a low hourly rate. We could go off the minimum wage at New Jersey, which I believe is like 14 an hour. So if you're getting paid like 18 an hour consistently, or it should be a lower rate, but that job, it doesn't require a lot of effort from you. For example, like a call center, like IT support, any job that like you can do other stuff while working that job, or that job just requires you to be present, and you can use that time to gather your skill sets and learn stuff off the internet, take courses online, get certifications, all while being paid to just be there, basically. So you're basically getting paid to be a student now. That's such a cheat code to the system, and I wish a lot more people thought like that. Because if you're now getting paid and it's because if you're combining the time you would spend on doing work or doing some sort of like course with the work with some sort of income, you're putting it two to two together, and then now you have like the ultimate package. You're literally getting paid to learn now. I think that's such a cheat code. Definitely look into jobs that don't require a lot of effort from you, and that the management isn't super strict on, you basically being on task the entire time. Obviously when you have to, you have to flip that switch and you're going to have to like perform at your job. But if there's a lot of downtime at your job and you can simply just go on your laptop, watch courses, read a book, any sort of job that gives you an ample amount of free time, definitely look into, even if it's low hourly rate. If you'd rather, if you want a higher paying job, usually that's not an option for you. You're not going to have the luxury of getting paid like 20 an hour and just to kind of just sit there. At least that I'm not aware of. If you know any of those jobs, please let me know in the comment section. But let's say you're working like a warehouse job, 18, 19, 20 an hour. Maybe you probably could make that doing you probably could make that being a server, but obviously tips like fluctuate on the night. You're gonna have to work the most common days in the week, so you might have to work a Friday night, a Saturday night, maybe even a Sunday, and like a lot of people aren't willing to do that. But that's definitely an area I believe you should get a job in and just kind of save up all that money. And, just take time, if you really don't, because you don't want to go into college and start paying for a degree and you're not really sure if you want that degree or not. So, just use that time and just work, because doing nothing is not good at all. You use that time to work and just kind of think about your next move. And if, let's say, college isn't for you and you don't want to work you don't want to like work like a low paying job right off the gate, you can always go to trade school. Going to trade school requires a lot less time than a 4-year university, and you're getting paid pretty competitively to those of college graduates, excluding like STEM majors maybe. But a plumber makes decent money, and the amount of debt, let's say, you would go into for being a plumber would be a lot less than you going for any of the 4-year degrees. So even though society doesn't glorify being a plumber or going to trade school, being an electrician, those jobs pay, and they're always going to be in demand. You're not going to have to worry about it getting automated, because you can't automate that stuff. If you really can just like not care what society says and just like suck it up, you're going to be paid good, and you don't even have to do that forever. You literally can just do that for like a few years, save up enough money, and then either invest it, start your own business, start your own plumbing services. And like there's different avenues now you can take, because now you have that capital. Whereas if, let's say, you went to a 4-year university and you did a major that like isn't in demand, now you're in tremendous amounts of student debt, it's not worth it. So if you really don't know what you want to do, and like you'd rather just focus on getting money, but you still want a high paying salary right off the gate or relatively soon, definitely just go to trade school. Do that, and then just kind of work hard for like a few years, and then figure out what you want to do with that money next. But when you do start making big boy money, you have to be smart with it. I can't tell you how many people I've seen either on Instagram or like TikTok, they'll buy a big purchase whenever they get their first salary. And let's say they're making $80K a year. They're going to go and they're going to buy a super nice car, and it's just not worth it. Or they'll get every mod done on their car, the loud engine, tinted windows, the exhaust super loud, revving up their engine. And it's just such a waste of money. I don't understand why people do that. Like, I'm not hating on the whole car community, but in terms of financial, like, intelligence, that's got to be one of the stupidest things you could do. A car is a depreciating asset. You're going to have to spend so much time on gas, maintenance. Just get a car that's reliable if you need a car. But in most places, you can literally just Uber everywhere and you'll be fine. And you save time. You don't have to worry about getting into car accidents. You don't have to worry about parking tickets. It's a huge burden having a vehicle, especially if it's not paid off right away. Literally, wait a few years, save up your money, and if you still want that expensive vehicle when you're 35 or 30, 35, and you're more stable financially, just make the decision then. There's nothing wrong with buying a nice car, but there is something wrong with buying the car when you know you can't afford it. Because you could easily get laid off next year, and now you can't make your car payments, and now your car is gone, and now you have no sort of transportation, and you could have just been saving money the whole time by taking Ubers. Also, another huge spending aspect is food. A lot of people are just so incapable of making their own food, and it just blows my mind. It's not even that they're incapable, they just make so many excuses on like why they don't have time to cook, when there's literally recipes you can make in 5 minutes. For example, breakfast, make a smoothie. Just put milk, almond milk, whatever, ice, your protein powder, some fruit, peanut butter, or avocado or oil, and you have a nice, delicious breakfast item, and it literally takes you 5 minutes, including cleanup time. It blows my mind when people try to eat out in the morning, or they gotta go to Starbucks to get like, I don't know, like those little egg bite things. Like, bro, just eat breakfast at home. If you're really in a rush, like grab a protein bar, buy a big bulk from Costco. Just save your money on that. And do not in your right mind order off Uber Eats or DoorDash if you're getting it delivered to your house. They charge you so much extra money. It's just not worth it. You literally will pay $4 to $5 extra if you get a delivered option off DoorDash than if you were to order it to just getting it picked up. And that's crazy. I don't know how DoorDash gets away with it, but people are really just desperate. If you have to get something delivered, which should be very rarely, because don't be lazy. You just get stuff that's nearby then. Like, why would you want to order something that's so far from you anyway, that when you get it delivered, it's cold, the bun is soggy, the fries are cold? It's just such a waste. Don't do that. You're paying so much extra money, plus the tip money. Don't forget to tip, because if you don't tip, you're a bad human. If you tip let's say you tip 20%. Let's say you tip $5, right? $5 plus the additional $5 that DoorDash charged you, plus expenses. You're looking around a $12 increase on the food item itself. It's just so expensive. It's really not worth it when you don't have money. When you have money and you're making over like $50 an hour, I think it's okay to order out, like, because like you hear all these YouTubers talk about it, all these like alpha male YouTubers talk about it. Oh, like, never cook your food. I haven't cooked a meal in 3 years. But that's because they're making big boy money. You're not making big boy money yet. You have to wait. You have to earn that hourly skill or whatever sort of investment opportunity or whatever business you're running to the point where you are making that type of money. But if you're making less than that, you have to be like smart with your money. Just like spending it on areas where you can't really afford, or it would drastically help you to save. You have to look into those and just optimize that. Do not order Uber Eats or DoorDash. It's not worth it. And also, when you buy clothes that you can wear on multiple occasions. There should be nothing designer. Minimalist is completely fine. A few loud pieces is okay. But for the most part, dress with intentions. Buy clothes that you could wear with multiple outfits. Otherwise, you're going to have a hot mess in your closet, and you're going to take so much time in the morning to figure out what you want to wear. And, you're going to find yourself buying more pieces now because the expensive or the super loud, flashy pieces you can't wear every day. It's just not worth it. The second aspect is going to be your presentation. You need to present yourself as best as possible at all times. I understand that sometimes you can't leave the house looking 100% all the time, whether you're running late for an interview, you have to go to class, or in general, like, you can't look 100% every day, but you need to leave the house looking at least 90%. So I'm not saying you have to shave every single day, but you're going to have to, make sure your face is well kept. You got to make sure your hair is pretty much on point. If not, throw on a hat. Dress nice fitted clothes that suit the occasion that you're going to. Jewelry, and always smell good. Because if you don't smell good, you can have the cleanest fit on, but if you smell bad, if you didn't shower, if you forgot to put on deodorant or cologne, it's not going to be a good day for you. I'm so sorry, but every person that you're going to try to interact with, or your confidence as a whole, is just not going to be there, because you simply know, hey, if I had that cologne on, or if I at least put on some deodorant, I would feel a lot better about myself, and the people around me would take the words that I'm saying a lot more seriously. And when it comes to maintaining, like, let's say your beard or any sort of facial hair, make sure you have the proper tools to do so. Don't try to buy one of those trimmers that can do everything, when that's not really the point of a trimmer. Certain trimmers and certain blades and certain shavers, they all have different roles and different duties that it can perform. So make sure you invest in an electric foiler, a straight razor, and a trimmer. Those are the three most basic necessities that you need as a man. You need a electric foiler to shave closely. You need a straight razor to get that really crisp lineup, and you need a trimmer just to shorten your hair on your face and, you know, trim like your body hair and all that. So that's definitely important. And we're gonna go back to the topic of smelling good. You need some sort of deodorant, and then you also need a really good cologne. Your cologne, you should have more. I would say you should have like 3 or 4 colognes, because depending on the situation you go to, you're gonna want to smell a certain way. You're not gonna want to go to the gym smelling like a date fragrance. You're gonna want like a fresh aquatic fragrance. You're not gonna want like something that's super woodsy or super boozy. You know, the environment that you're going to really does play a big role in the cologne that you wear. That's very important, because wearing the wrong cologne to a certain occasion can just throw everything off for you, and you're gonna kind of feel out of place, and you definitely don't want to feel like that. Also, make sure you have a good hat rotation, because there are gonna be days that you just can't do your hair, or you're just too lazy to do your hair, and just throwing on a hat just makes everything a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about, you know, your hair looking like trash. Also, have suits. You need at least 2 to 3 suits that you can wear, because a man in a suit is the most attractive version of a man according to women. I can tell you numerous of times that I went out in a suit, and the way women have treated me was completely different than all the other times that I was wearing different outfits. Even if those outfits were fire, like nice streetwear, nice fitted polo, when you have that suit and tie on, it means business, and women know that. And men too. Anybody that sees you in a suit, they just look at you differently, and they give you a different level of respect that you should always want to have on you. So the more chances you can wear a suit, I would say the better. The third aspect, socialization. If you do not have the capability to strike up conversations with strangers, to hold eye contact, you are really at a deficit in life. You need to actually be appreciative of one another. You have to understand that humans are meant to interact with each other, and they are social creatures. You not being able to talk efficiently and project your thoughts to others is just not acceptable. You have to get over your social anxiety. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. If you're an introvert, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you're an extrovert. But just because you're a born introvert doesn't mean you can't flip the switch into a extrovert. And that's what I've done. Naturally, growing up, I was super shy. I didn't have the level of confidence that I have now. But in terms of my social battery, I like to go. I love to have a good time. At the same time, I need my alone time. I need my, you know, my ability to just chill, relax, and not be surrounded by a bunch of people. So I'm kind of both. I'm literally like a hybrid. And my ability to be a hybrid allows me to be successful in both aspects. You know, when I need a load time and I have to just grind for like finals, or I got something important coming up and I just need to like dial in and focus and be by myself, I'm okay with that. When it comes to going out, networking, or just any sort of social event, I dominate. I know how to hold my own. I know how to strike up conversations with strangers, whether it's people my age or people older. I can do it. I have no issues with starting conversation with random strangers. And as a matter of fact, I enjoy it. I think it's one of the most beautiful things, just talking to random people about random things. And sometimes the conversations go good. Sometimes they don't always go as planned, but that's part of the game. And I understand that, and I'm not afraid to, you know, take L's, because L's are only lessons. I have zero regrets for striking up a conversation with somebody and it doesn't go according to plan, or I could tell like I'm annoying them, or, you know, it doesn't hurt me. It just makes me know like, oh, okay, like I gotta become even better than I already am at this. So that way every person I talk to has a very memorable experience with me. And for the most part, it's like that. But there's always going to be the few people that are either in a bad mood, or like they're in a rush, or I don't know, they're stressed about something, and they might not give you the reaction that you wanted, but it's okay. It's okay. But practice your social skills, because without them, I don't understand how you can be successful in life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those are the 3 necessities for all men If you don't improve these three aspects of your life, it's going to be very difficult for you to be a high value male.